motherfucker. Money be green. Money feel like money. That shit look green to you?
An MMA fight. Because we're going to be covering some MMA as well. Really, really big fight coming up this weekend. Jon Jones back in the octagon versus Ciryl Gane. Jon Jones on the money line, a -166, and Ciryl Gane, a +130 straight up on the money line. Bryan, who you rolling with and why?
You could also find Jon Jones as low as like -145, -150, at least as of when we're talking about this. We'll see what happens closer to the fight. I think more action is probably going to come in on him, so that may change. This is Jon Jones' first fight since pre-COVID. A lot of people kind of failed to realize that, but this is his first fight in a long, long time. And actually, it might be not pre-COVID, but 2 years, right? So really, with Ciryl Gane being the bigger man here, I think there are some people who think that Jon Jones is not going to come back and win. I've been leaning Jon Jones, and maybe that's a failure on my part, but I still haven't seen this dude lose an MMA fight. And it's one of those examples where, look, his only loss was Matt Hamill disqualification 2009, the illegal elbows, which I think was a bullshit disqualification, kind of like Roy Jones Jr.'s disqualification, in the 90s. So I ultimately think that Jon Jones is going to win this fight. So I'm rolling with him on the money line to be safe, but I am going to sprinkle on Jon Jones by submission because at +750, I'm very intrigued by that number. That's something you can find at DraftKings. I'm not sure what FanDuel's number is or PointsBet. I would have to check again. I'm sure it's around the same price. But Jon Jones hasn't won by submission in a long, long time. And he had a streak of 3 submissions in 4 fights in the 2011, 2012 range. His last submission that he won, his last time that he won by submission was September of 2012. So I'm rolling with Jon Jones to win this on the money line is my pick. Just playing it safe there. But I am sprinkling on the submission because I think with Ciryl Gane, he's going to have to take this to the ground. You don't want to stand and trade with the guy who's going to be much bigger than you, perhaps on fight night. And Jon Jones, I think his advantage is going to be on the ground, get him in mount, try to tap him out, or try to just keep him there because Ciryl Gane will try to win this fight standing up for the most part, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, and Jon Jones also has power that you got to watch out for. Gane, really high IQ, really good stamina. The guy doesn't get tired. Really good power shots. He can outstrike dudes. He's an elite technician. And I thought he actually bodied when he fought a guy like Derek Lewis. He bodied him. We talk about one loss. Ciryl Gane, I believe, only has 1 loss on his record, and that's Francis Ngannou. And that was a fight where Ngannou won by, what was it, unanimous decision, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Ciryl Gane definitely has a chance in this fight. You look at the odds. Jon Jones is coming back into the octagon after a minute. But like you said, come on, man. This guy has technically never really lost a fight. If you think about it the way Bryan kind of broke it down, it's hard to go against that. He's so athletic. And against a guy like Ciryl Gane, who is an elite technician, I don't think he wants to stand there and trade with a guy like Jon Jones. And that's the thing. I think Gane is going to try to trade with him, but also try to get him onto the ground. But I don't think that he's going to be able to outstrike a guy like Jon Jones. But I also don't know if I see a knockout in this one. Because I took a look at knockout. It was a +360 by KO or TKO for Jon Jones, which I think is pretty good odds. I might sprinkle on that just because it is Jon Jones. You know what I'm saying? But just to be safe like you, I'm going to roll on the money line at -166 with Jon Jones. I'm going to make a little bit of a 2-leg parlay, of course, with Brandon Figueroa. But I do think there's also a chance that Jon Jones could ultimately win on points at +180 because I think Ciryl Gane's going to try to trade with him because he is good at outstriking dudes at times, right?
Yeah.
But I just think that Jon Jones is more of the elite fighter. So I like Jon Jones on the money line, -166, but I also like him on points at +180, and there's a little bit of value there as well. But here on the mandatory, we want to know what your bet is. And like I mentioned, make sure to drop your slips before the fight starts. I don't want to hear this. Oh, you guys were wrong. I was right. Drop your slips, but also follow us on our social media channels. You'll see in the ticker below the weight that